if you ever need, if I'm required or I could be of assistance, do give a holler. I'm not that far
Ah,
away, and I'm
I
eager to
will.
come help. I'm eager to
Oh
be
well, we're. Thank you very much. We're
of
almost done.
of
Great.
service. Yeah, no, and it sounds like I'm suggesting this right at the end, but I did say that I was
You
available
did
early on.
right from the word go. You
Yeah.
did.
Anywho,
Yeah.
it is. Oh, it's 8:00. I thought it was still 8:01. It is 8:04. I am Rosda.
I'm
I'm
chatting
joined
to a room.
by my co-host Ian, and together, uh, despite having, I mean, my day wasn't that long, but Ian's had a long day. Long days all around, and yet still dark days. We are attempting to drink Nova Scotia Dry. It is just before New Year's Eve. It's not New Year's Eve because we decided
Mm.
that we're obviously, yeah, we're too much of movers and shakers to possibly be free to do a show on New Year's Eve. So here we are the night before, and we're having, I call these celebratory strong beers. These are your, they serve them up at fancy parties. In fact, this first one, I first had that at a rather fancy party. It is a strong barrel aged beer night, right?
Yeah. 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 We've had enough IPAs. We're off them now. Good riddance to them. We're
Done.
back to
Never again.
back to the stouts again.
But no, I just like the concept of it's New Year's Eve. It's the end of 2025. Thank goodness. And it's time to just crack open something that is I think it's meant to be sick. This isn't, we're not into the, oh, it's a hot day, like. This is definitely not what these are, because this first one here, so this is the lowest, the lower ABV of the two, is the 8% ABV of the Midnight Tide Scottish Reserve from Sea Level Brewing, Millstone Harvest Brew House up in Sheffield Mills, Nova Scotia. And it says they're aged 8 months, bottled 2024. So it's aged even longer. And then aside, our wee heavy Scotch ale. So this is not, normally a barrel aged one is like a barrel aged stout or an imperial stout. So they took the wee heavy Scotch ale, which I like, aged for 8 months in a 5 fathoms rum barrel from our good friends
Mm.
at Barreling Tide Distillery. Now,
Celery.
the other thing that I grabbed is a post. This is a Facebook post from when that one came out in December
Oh.
2024. The Midnight Tide Barrel Aged Scottish Reserve, the smoke, molasses, and caramel of our wee heavy, can confirm, pairs well with the toasty caramel notes in the Barreling Tide 5 Fathoms Dark Rum. Wee heavy Scottish ale aged in 5 Fathoms Dark Rum barrel, 8%. Barreling Tide is just down the road in the other direction, and I have had their 5 Fathoms rum, and it is good. It is a good dark rum. It is not a spiced dark rum. So the thing is, Canada, and we're trying not to drink anything from America. So since Kraken, my favorite, the dark spiced rum, they're not importing that currently. So we've been trying to find a replacement for the spiced dark rum. And at one point, I did try the 5 fathom rum, and someone said, "Oh, try this," and I went, "Yeah, it's good, but it's not. It doesn't have that spice of what the Kraken's got." So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
still exciting. Uh, for so the wee heavy, I think if I remember correctly, is a pretty strong ale already,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's aged in a rum barrel. Oh my god.
Are you smelling it already?
Uh
I wonder when we bought this last
oh.
year. When we bought it last year, um, you had already had a little nip of it. I had already had a little nip of it,
Hmm.
and I thought, we got this one and the whiskey barrel aged thing
The the
as
the the
well at the same time.
Yeah, the Windward Imperial
The
Stout.
okay, so we did that last year, did we not? In
Mm-hmm.
a yeah, in a poddy, and
Yep.
this one's been sat there then for is it over a year?
It's now been a year, yeah.
It's been a year. Okay. My question immediately is: does it age? Does it get stronger? Does it get even rummier? Does it get
Well,
soaking?
we're not
I mean, it's
aging
already
it.
soaked in it.
We're not aging it in a rum barrel, so I don't think it's getting stronger because it's mostly just being infused with what's in the rum barrel, right?
But would it get boozier?
I mean, I left my hydrometer upstairs if you want me to measure the specific gravity.
Do you remember all the way back to last week, if you can remember that far back,
Yeah.
when we tried a triple, the longest night,
Mm-hmm.
and it tasted. We were both like, "Ooh, has this gone?" But it was so alcoholic.
It was
It was
so
so
boozy. Yeah.
boozy, and we both wondered whether or not it was supposed to be, and we wondered whether or not it had actually got boozier because it had been there longer than it was supposed to be. I wonder if that's the same with this. Can you keep on aging it so it gets better and better and better? And more
Okay. You crack yours open and give us a smell, because I have inhaled this several times and I have many thoughts.
Okay, I'm going to use this is something I discovered today while I was bringing some of my stuff that's been in storage for donkey's years to get it into the house. I've had this probably over 20 or 25 years, Ross. It's one of those little things that Homer used to go whenever you crack the bottle, he used to go, beer, like that. But I've got a feeling because it's been sat there for so long now that it's not going to do anything. I bet it's just going to be a bottle opener.
My ears are perked. I am
Are you ready?
full attention to find out if this thing is still going to work.
I would be remarkably impressed if this still worked after all this time.
All right, let's have
here
it.
we go. No. So I'll do it myself.
Nothing. I will buy.
Yeah. Glug, 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 glug. Ooh, mercury. It didn't work, so I'm gonna have to throw it out and just.
That's a surprisingly good Homer. I've never heard you do a Homer Simpson voice. That's quite excellent.
Get away with it.
No, I'm serious.
Okay.
The laugh and no, that's quite good.
Oh yes, smells of.
Oh, it smells like it's sort of like a rummy, but a very deep, thick, oaky red wine, honestly. But then when I get it, once I pour it and get it in the glass, then it's definitely rummy. You're getting the rum in there.
Okay.
It does not supply much of a head on it, but I don't think that's what we're going for because it's the wee heavy. So I'm thinking, am I going to get a big foamy stout out of this? No, I'm not going to get a big foamy stout.
You're never going to get that out.
So I did.
By the way, what's the biggest glass you've got? Because it ain't going to fit in it.
No, it's not. I've got my big 20 ounce Millstone and Sea Level pint glass here, so the proper 20. Yep. And I've brought it mostly to the brim. I'll finish the rest later. So there's a splish left in your bottle. That is thick, and the wee heavy I know is not. It's brown, and it actually you can sort of see a little bit of it at the edges, but this is. You can't see through that one. You wee Scottish reserve, ye.
I know. It's obviously it's just a tiny bit of effervescence, just a tiny bit. You know when you pour, it looks actually like Coke that's been sat in the fridge for 3 days. That you said you were going to drink again.
Yeah. I do feel like I'm about to drink a really flat Dr. Pepper here.
It's a really flat Coke or Dr. Pepper.
The caramel notes of Coca-Cola is actually in there, so that's kind of curious.
Well, look. It's not lacking in the smell. Yeah, it's definitely got a rumness to it.
So, yes, you absolutely can continue aging barrel-aged beer in the bottle. So this is, once it's been in the barrel, blah, blah, blah. Benefit from it depends on the beer style, yeast activity, proper storage, cool, dark, consistent temperatures. So, yeah, cool, dark, we got that.
Yeah.
To avoid gushers or spoilage, does not taste gushed or spoiled. Bottle-conditioned beers with active yeast are ideal for this process, evolving slowly over months or years. I don't think there was still active yeast. So, honestly, I think it's just basically going to taste exactly as it were, going into the bottle, straight out of the barrel,
Well, that's not a bad
the
thing.
fermented barrel. But I'm fine for that.
Can we say Happy New Year, even though we're a
I
day or
think so.
two from it?
I think
Close
so.
enough. All right, buddy.
Happy
Happy New Year.
Hogmanay, Happy New Year. Well done.
Cheers.
I say it's not a sipping or it's not a gulping beer, and then I take like 3 big huge gulps.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh,
It
drink
took its time.
Oh, the rum.
Beer,
It's subtle at the front, but then at the tail end of it, oh, that is just a glass of raisin. Oh, it's caramelized.
It's Christmas pudding in the glass.
It is. It's Christmas pudding in a glass. Oh, now I need a little tumbler of custard next to me to mix with that, I think.
Clotted cream, or I was going to say brandy cream. That's stuff. I don't think
there we go. Yeah, that's what this
rum.
needs. This needs a shot of Bailey's.
Brandy butter.
That's.
It's. I know.
Oh.
Gosh.
And I'm usually, it's been my complaint these last few weeks where I say, oh, no, I don't like that one. It tastes too boozy. This one tastes boozy, but this one tastes boozy the right way. It basically says this rum-flavored rum drink it's been dipped in rum, infused with rum, and we left it next to a guy playing gin rummy. So here you go. So the fact that it tastes, I'm like, yeah, that is a rum drink right there. Oh.
Can we call this a Christmas drink, please? This is 100%
we are
Christmas. Yeah, I know it's New Year, but this is brewed specifically for the season, the whole shebang. Christmas and New Year. This is.
If the sun was gone, if later at night, maybe one of those crisp, the cool summer evenings just before a rainstorm kind of thing, I could drink this at 10 p.m. in July. I think.
Could you?
Yeah. You'd have to talk me up to it for several days, I think, though. You'd have to here's what we're doing. We're doing this. It's the rum barrel aged wee heavy. I'm like, okay, all right. So the boozy one and then extra boozy.
I'll join you. Don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't be my first choice.
No,
on a July evening.
You're not saying, oh, it's a crisp July night. You know what I could go for? And yeah, it would have to be someone saying, oh, I've got this great beer. I've been saving it forever, and it's your 30th wedding anniversary, so we should probably crack it open and have a little sip all around in a circle. That it could be a ceremonial drink at any time. I like the way you said
a crisp July evening. I think there's not too many of those. It's normally disgusting.
Not in the valley.
Disgusting when you're hot.
Two.
Crisp,
Well, when it's cooled down to a crisp 21 degrees, that's what I'm talking about.
That's right, crisp. When you have to maybe put a thin sweater on, that might be the time.
Yeah.
Look, I'm assuming it was a one-off, and they're not doing this every year. I mean, they're not doing it this year, or have they got a different one that we haven't yet got?
My best indication, I haven't been up that way. No, I was up that way just a few weeks ago, and there was nothing new on the menu. There's no new bottles. There's no. They did. I think they still have some of these ones. They have last year's still available, but I think for making a new one this year, nope. Because my indicator is I get invited to the wine bus end of year thing, and they bring out their new stuff, and I was quite excited by this because. They didn't have one of their dessert, the barrel aged. They didn't bring any barrel aged stuff. They just said, "Oh, here's Port in the Storm is back in the can," and I said, "Bring it on!" And I drank several Port in the Storms at that delightful wine buzz evening.
I saw that earlier on this evening at the liquor store in Kentville.
Yes, it's back. It's back, and I'm quite excited about that.
Yeah, me too.
I have a weird point of conversation, and it actually comes back to your Simpsons bottle opener, because I assume everyone gets this way, pushing 50 when you're nearing a half century, and you start to hear people say things like, I've had this here for over 20-some years, and I've been using this for a long time. And you're like, okay, this is going to be some rusty harpoon that, someone used to kill humpback whales back in the 1800s. And then again, the way you were talking, oh, this is my old tried, tested, and true. I don't know why you're talking like this, but in my head, you are talking like a grizzled old fisherman. My tried, tested, and true. Oh, yeah, I've had this for like 20 or 30 years. And here it is. It's my electronic Simpsons bottle opener. And it was such like a screaming car accident off the road that I thought we were going on. I thought, oh, he's gonna have this lovely story, this old rusty thing. Oh, my granddad used to use this sort of. No, this is just some dumb thing that you found at a dollar store 30 years
and
ago.
The antique. It's been handed down through generations.
But that's just it. I'm old enough now that when you say, "Oh, I had this 30 years ago," and I have to reverse math, and I think 30 years ago, this.
I know, it's the 90s.
He could break out a laptop computer. He could sort of say, "Oh, look at this! I've had this in the family. It's been along many a year."
It's funny. This my son is over from Quebec at the moment, visiting, and he goes back day after tomorrow. And my daughters, I had them over a couple of days ago, just for a bite to eat, a bit of pizza and a bit of funnery, just after Christmas. And my daughters are 24. They'll be 25 tomorrow, New Year's Eve, and they were saying the same thing. How you know that thing about when you think of 30 years ago, for some reason we think it's the 70s, the 1970s. It's 30 years ago.
It was. You can't convince me otherwise.
1995. But even they say that they have to stop and think themselves. When you say something is like 20 years ago, they stop and think, that's a long time ago. And they stop and think, hang on a minute. No, that was only 2005. And they're saying that as 24, 25-year-old kids.
Yeah.
I say kids. You know, not kids, but you know what I mean. Like they're my kids. So they think the same thing as me. The fact is, it's that thing at the century, the end of the century thing, that 2000 thing. It threw everything off. You can't say the 70s or the 60s because that sounds like you're in the same century, and it was now 50 and 60 years ago. That doesn't make any sense. That's like thousands of years ago. Is what that feels like now.
Well, I feel like at some point, I say things like, "Oh, back in the 80s, back in the 90s," and I feel like I'm not going to live long enough that someone's going to say, "Ooh, which one?" But I still feel like when you say the 80s, someone's going to say 80s. No, it's only 2042. What are you talking about? The 80s? That's like a lifetime ago. And I said, yes,
I think it came home to me when someone pointed out that they heard on a classic rock channel, a classic rock channel, the Foo Fighters.
I think that's one of my anecdotes.
You feel old.
And here's the worst part.
Okay, I think someone told me that.
I think I told you that 5 years
Okay.
ago. That
did you?
Even more years back when I'm listening to it,
Right.
and the Foo Fighters came on. Oh, I love this. This is the music of my
Classic
early
rock.
20s. Yeah. Well, coming up next on Classic Rock, we've got the Foo Fighters. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have the Foo Fighters on your Classic Rock station. No, get that out of there. That's not part of it.
Classic rock is Led Zeppelin, and the Guess Who. That's the 60s and 70s. That's because that's
we've got
30
classic
years
rock
ago.
favorites such as the Killers, the Fratellis.
That's right.
No,
Oh,
you
old.
do not. You're
not
a
allowed.
medium classic rock channel if you're doing that kind of thing. This is it's still giving me this really interesting, and I think is it rum and beer mixing, and it's really giving me, I feel like I'm drinking a delightfully complex red wine. And don't get me wrong, I love that.
That's a really bold,
Yes.
strong Cab Sav.
Yes.
One that's going to put hairs on your chest.
And
I remember thinking last year, I remember this all the way to last year, that of the two special edition stouts, no, one was a porter. One was a porter, and one was the stout.
You almost fall.
Do you have a little child?
Yep, he's coming over to show me that he's definitely not sleepy. despite the fact that he
Oh,
almost fell over when he ran up to me to say hello.
come on, Chapman Jr. I've not seen you on the
Oh,
TV
and
before.
he's taken a hammer with him, so good. He's got tools. He's fine.
Maxwell Silverhammer.
Mm,
Okay, I remember thinking last year when both these special reserves came out. I think they brought them out at the same time.
I think they
Did
did.
they
Yep.
not? Right, right. They threw the same stout, one into a barrel aged whiskey,
Mm-hmm.
a whiskey barrel, and the other one, in, of course, into a rum. So one was rum soaked and one was whiskey soaked.
Yep.
Now, I do. I had to say last year when I tried them both up at Sea Level, I was surprised that I didn't prefer the rum soaked version because I prefer a rum to a whiskey.
Hmm. I am remembering this conversation now. Yeah.
Oh, you do. But I did. I had to say it. The rum version didn't work as well for me as the whiskey one did. I think it's because I'm so used to the taste of a whiskey aged stout, which seems to work better for me than a rum one does. And I have to say it. This is the only rum soaked stout that I've had, so I've got nothing to compare it to. It's not like I've got tons of experience of it, but this is the only one. And I thought at the time the whiskey one wins it for me, hands down. That's not to say I'm not enjoying this, and I didn't enjoy it then. It's just it wasn't as good for me.
Mm.
Um,
I feel like I was expecting to enjoy the whiskey one more, and and I don't remember that I
and you did? Oh, interesting.
I'm trying to go all
That's
the way
exactly
back.
the opposite.
Yeah,
That's exactly the opposite
and
of what I thought.
because I think we had the conversation where we talked about the opposite feelings were true.
Right.
Because some of the other ones where we usually have an imperial stout, doesn't it usually say a bourbon cask age or a bourbon aged imperial stout?
Bourbon, absolutely.
So
whiskey, bourbon. What's the American version?
well,
No, rye. Rye is Canadian, isn't it?
well, yeah.
So it's all. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry.
So
Bourbon is American.
and the short answer here is all bourbon is whiskey, but whiskey isn't always bourbon because
Yeah.
bourbon must use new charred oak barrels, while whiskey often uses used barrels. Previously bourbon ones. So basically bourbon is the veal of to what meat is so bourbon is the veal of whiskey. It's the brand new one, the first batch made in that new oak barrel.
Wow, you've just gone so deep. It's the veal. Oh, I had to stop and take that in.
Was it?
And it's not just because of the rum beer that's already taking its toll on me. So veal, of course, is what is it, under a year old or under 2 years old?
New young baby.
Yeah,
meat.
baby cow. Right.
Do.
I was always understanding that whiskey. Oh, by the way, there's obviously two spellings of whiskey, and the only one that can spell it without the e is the Scots, isn't it? They can spell it Whisky.
Really? Oh, I didn't know about that.
And the Irish spell it with an e in it. I think that's how it is. I think Scotland has got a kind of a moratorium on.
Countries like Scotland, Canada, and Japan traditionally spell it without the E, while Ireland and the US generally use EY to differentiate.
Oh, Canada and Japan are in there as well.
Yep, the trifecta, the power trifecta, Canada,
Yeah,
Scotland, and Japan, where between the three of us, we are the experts at
Canadian and Scottish and Japanese heritage.
I want to say drunken combat.
There is something about the Canadians and beer and alcohol, but there again, you can't say that the Irish aren't allowed to do it. If Canada's allowed to do it, and it's purely on units of alcohol imbibed, then the Irish have got to be included. No, no. So therefore, I always understood that whiskey was was a sort of Irish and Scottish thing, and then when the Americans were brewing it, it was called bourbon. I'm so wrong, aren't I? And when Canadians are doing it, it was rye.
Uh,
But quite. You've just told me that I'm just so wrong.
yeah.
So I'm
Well,
just going to shut up
I
and
feel like
keep
we've had this
drinking my
conversation
barrel aged
several times, but yeah.
rum. Probably.
And
Probably.
even in Sea Level's post, they spell whiskey with an EY. This is dating back to December of 2024. Even they called it whiskey with an
Makes
EY.
sense.
And I think, I mean, I usually do it.
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
that's got some
oh, gosh.
it's got some passion to it.
Oh, it does.
Mm.
Can you imagine sinking pints? Should we use this for our 100-shot challenge? No.
Well, I have good news and bad news. And the bad
Yep.
news is that the next one is even stronger.
Yeah, the next one rocks my world. I've not had it yet. When I saw this on shelf, sort of 4 or 6 weeks ago,
Yep.
I did a double take, to be honest, Ross. Oh, by the way, what are you doing? Are you leaving half the bottle in? Because there's an awful lot left.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm
yeah,
not pouring the rest of the bottle into the glass. I am leaving a finger or two in the glass for comparison.
I've
And
done
then
that too.
once we're done, I will probably go and I may finish the bottle a little bit later, but
We'll see.
I'm
Yeah.
feeling like I don't need to finish it.
Toasty, isn't it? Yeah.
This.
I know it's going to rock you, especially
Oh,
as earlier on this morning, and you said, "Look, we've got 3 Imperial Stouts here. Do you want to do all 3?" And of course, you said, "I understood where you were coming from." I was thinking, and I said, "You're the boss. You know, this is your show. I'm just a guest here." So one was like 8, the other one was 9, and this big fat bastard here is 11%.
11. So, and
I know.
which was one
The
of
thing is, let me just finish that. When I saw it on the shelf, and I looked at it and I thought, what on earth? Look at the price of this beer. That was my first thought. Was what? I've never paid that much for a pint, or not even a pint. What, $4.73 for a can of beer in my life? And I thought, let me look at this. And then, of course, I turned over and I thought, oh, right, 11%. That'll explain it. So I had no hesitation whatsoever in buying us a couple, and because clearly we need to drink this. This is important.
Oh,
we need
yes.
to have this in our life. Yeah. So this is my Christmas present to us both.
But one of the other reasons that we didn't have 3, one was 8, 9, and 11. I don't think we'd be seeing straight by the end of that one, much as that we have tried in the past. And the other is that 2 of them are barrel aged, and the third one is an Imperial Stout. I think it was just I don't think it was barrel aged. I'll have to check with Rob at some point or another.
That's fair enough.
But so second up, if you have your last little sip there. So from Boxing Rock Brewing down in Shelburne, and as I say that, we have the barrel-aged Clockwork Imperial Stout. I'll do my best, and here we go to changing my location to the Boxing
well done.
Rock. Look at that, right on time. Booyah, here I am.
Believe you managed to keep it together long enough to do that. That's
here we go.
Very impressive.
It only says extra strong beer on the outside of this. I'm pretty sure this is this year, but if you make your way over to boxingrock.ca/product/Clockwork Imperial Stout, 20 for a whole bunch of other nonsense, you will find a picture of it and no description whatsoever. So there goes my confidence in having the website available to me. So what barrel was this in? I don't know. Let me go back here a minute.
I don't know.
Clockwork Imperial Stout, blah 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 blah. Nope, perfect. Blah, Boxing Rock, something.
I bet it was whiskey.
Here we go. Back by very popular demand, Clockwork Imperial Stout, available at our taproom or online store. Get it while it lasts. They don't want to tell us what's in this. Do they just not?
They don't tell you very often, do they? They're a bit.
What? Oh, here
very
we
cloak and dagger.
Here we go. You have to go to No, I don't have to go to Instagram. Is there any?
Oh, please don't.
Now pouring a blend of 3 to 6-year-old barley wine. No, that's not it either. Available. Clockwork. Clockwork Stout returns this November. Dark, smooth, and brewed for cooler days. Barrel-aged Clockwork is dropping this November. 2 epic ways to enjoy Clockwork. Which one are you?
Oh, there's 2 different ones.
Well, there's the Clockwork, the Clockwork Stout, dark and smooth, and then the barrel-aged Clockwork Stout, but
which is what we have.
Absolutely nothing that I find is telling me what it was barreled in.
Okay, so I would imagine they've got different cans as well then for this, because this looks so steampunky, doesn't it? The clockwork and all the cogs going on. And...
Yes, I do love the goggles on the octopus there, and he's kind of metallic. He's got little rivets all up and down him there. So the can work is outstanding. This is very very cool. I am a little afraid of the 11%, but. Whatever, here we go. Oh, that was a good fizz that popped off of that. Hello, here it comes, and it's going in the can as fast as possible.
I don't have to use my Homer voice for this one because this is a can and not a bottle top. Oh, there we go. Oh shit!
Yes.
Oh yeah, that did liven up.
It did. My God.
This one has a head. Ooh. I am absolutely amazed. Not just a head, but yeah, you've got the same as I have. It's crazy.
This might take a minute.
This is Night and Dark, if you pardon the pun, from the Midnight Time.
Oh yes,
which was of course.
We have definitely had cheese, and we are now having chalk.
Oh yeah, this is very very different.
However,
this is not like Diet Coke 3 days in the fridge. This is you've just opened it up and thrown a couple of those what are the Alka-Seltzers or those pastel things into your Coke and had that
Mentos. That's the Mentos in your Diet Coke.
Okay, that's what this is.
Give it a smell. Give it a smell. It's
May I?
Oh. It smells a proper stout. It's got a sweetness to it, like a chocolatey. So it smells a proper chocolatey stout to me.
Yes, 100%. But I was expecting to smell a barrel. I was expecting to smell
again
a liquor.
They don't.
I'm not getting it.
They don't tell you what kind of barrel it is. Maybe it's a metal barrel. Maybe it's just hanging out back.
It smells like a regular strong coffee chocolate.
Just a strong Imperial. And now I'm feeling kind of bad that we're not comparing this to the Imperial Stout that we have from Paddy's. Not that I'm saying let's open a third.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. In no way, shape, or form. There was a little dribble as I'm pouring it into the glass that's coming down the can, and I did give it a little lick, and
good.
It's very tasty. It's very chocolatey. It's very stoutish. It's like a chocolate stout. If you told me this was a double chocolate stout, I would be rather convinced that definitely that's exactly what we're drinking right there.
Can I tell you something? Of all your Scottish accents, that's the most Edinburgh-ish. You sounded like Ronnie Corbett when you were there. Are you familiar with the two Ronnies?
The two Ronnies. Oh, I used to watch that.
Oh, good. Well, you sounded very much like Ronnie Corbett when you were doing that.
Right, we got it in
beautiful.
There, and it's just fine. It's just okay. It's just. I don't know. I guess I refer to that as like subdued Scot, because the other one is your Glaswegian.
That's much.
Go away. Go away, you.
Really harsh. I haven't smelt it. Well, I have smelt it, but I've not smelt it once.
I mean, it's.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything. No, there's no liquor. There's no hard liquor smell.
Which is very interesting. So is the boozy one, the boozy flavored one, going to be the one? It's the lower percent. It's an, was that an 8? We're going from an 8.
Yes, Yeah, it was
A
pissy.
1-year-old, still theoretically fermenting, getting stronger if possible, but certainly not losing anything in the closet, up against an
No.
11% that just tastes smooth, easy, and no problem whatsoever over here. I mean, none of these are actually saying that they're the New Scotland company, but I am sort of stuck in when you say barrel aged uh, stout and whatnot. The Scottish accent does come out. It's just going to happen.
The other one should, because it was a Scottish reserve.
It was a Scot. I think that's why. This one is just saying, "Hello, this is the barrel aged Clockwork." What is the Nova Scotian accent? I don't even know what I'm doing there.
You've forgotten what it is. You know what?
Hello there. I'm from Nova Scotia.
I'm 100% going to drink this can, all of it.
Mm.
I know I am, because it's 11. I'm not putting it away because it's just going to get ruined. So you have to finish. It's not. I know you said the other one was like a wine, and I really understood that.
Yeah,
I really did.
Yeah.
But you can't. When I can put a bottle of wine away occasionally, Ross. I know I usually drink the whole bottle and then open a second. But what I'm saying is, you can put a bottle of wine away and then get it out the next evening and finish it.
Mm.
You can't really do that with a beer.
No.
Maybe you can more so with this. You can do with this. Maybe you can't do it with a Coors Light. You could probably do it more so with this if you want to. But I don't want to.
With an 11%. Yeah, but you're not going upstairs with a half full can and I'll just put it in the fridge and let it sit out.
I know.
I do that sometimes because my wife has a lovely habit of not finishing her beverages. So I often find there's half of a sour is on the stove in a summer night. Like, I'll just put that away, or I'll have a sip of that. And I do end up pouring them down the drain the next morning. But I save. There's some sort of little glimmer of hope to think that someone will drink that, right? Like don't waste it.
I do that with coffee. Rebecca has this thing about not finishing coffee. She loves coffee. She's an absolute coffee fiend. She loves it.
Right.
But the thing is, she can leave a coffee and not go back to it, and then she can put it in the microwave maybe to heat it up later on. So therefore, if I go to put something in the microwave, I'll often find like half a cup of coffee still in the microwave, stone cold. The thing is, she won't drink it then, and I'm like, may I have your coffee? So, and I would totally drink cold coffee, knowing that it's exactly what they serve in Starbucks for like $8.95
absolutely
for a cold coffee.
It's cold brew.
Yeah. So it's absolutely cold brew. And I never used to understand, but now just drinking a cold coffee, I'm like, this is really good.
That's fine.
Cold coffee, it's absolutely fine. And this happens an awful lot. And yet I won't repay it. I won't repay the favor, because the day that she finds me like a half a can of beer just left over, well, it's never happened yet, and it's not about to now.
Ooh, wait, what?
Have you found something, Ross?
Oh,
I haven't even tried the beer
you can get a 24-pack of Clockwork Imperial Stout for $110. I make coffee for myself. I use the French press. I'm over here on the Boxing Rock page, and I'm still trying to find any kind of description of this stupid thing, and it's coming up with nothing. But I make coffee. I make a French press, the full French press thing, which makes about I would say 3.5 cups of coffee. I drink one. So I make a hot coffee, and then I press it down. Yum, hot coffee, boom. And I have a cup of hot coffee, and then I forget about it. So then later on in the day, I'll go upstairs. Oh, right, I made coffee. So I'll pour myself some lukewarm coffee, and then I'll heat it in the microwave, and then I'll have another cup of hot coffee. And then I forget about it, and I leave it out, so that the next morning, I make coffee every 2 days, and then the next day it's stone cold but I always do nuke it. I warm it back up, unless I've brought it downstairs hot next to me in the desk, and then I'm just sitting here looking stuff up on the internet. How many is wheat beer the same as Pilsner? And then after a while, I look over and I think, oh, right, I made coffee. And I look in, and it's probably like ice cold because I'm down in the basement.
Mm.
Well, I'll just drink my cold coffee and that'll be fine. So I try to drink hot coffee, but I am day old cold coffee still. I'm like, yep, all right, I'm just gonna drink that right up.
Do you think there will ever come a day where you and I will uh, together we brew?
It, how how so?
Like,
Like
well,
drink a
you
together we
know,
brew or
no. Where you and I will make a brew together.
we?
Hang on, and I really think that in cold coffee, adding strong cold coffee to something we make from grain, you and I really dig this idea. I love cold coffee now. I never. By the way, I'm not talking like like the aforementioned $8 Starbucks shite. I'm talking about making our own brew, uh, a nice dark, rich coffee stout with our own coffee, and something that you and I can imbibe of a cold winter's evening,
I,
knowing that we did this.
I mean,
Mm.
yeah, we're both
Yeah.
mostly brewing from kits as of now.
I don't want to do that. I've just started again because I'm going to start again because I'm in a situation now where I can, where I have the ability and the premises,
Hmm.
so that I can start brewing again. But I don't want. I want to get into. I want to go deeper. I want to. I
Okay.
want to start exploring textures, flavors, and tastes that hitherto have been unavailable with kit.
Hmm.
And I know the kits are great. They really are, Ross, and they're so simple. And I know you can throw the odd thing at it and make it slightly more interesting and slightly more unique and slightly your own.
And
If you do it, but why could we not get one of those kits, one of those big old fat chocolate stouts, and add some stuff to it ourselves, and then call it our own?
that I feel like that's where my next kind of foray might be into. I've got a couple that I want to make, and I'm really just following the recipe. And I'm going to do this exactly when to do
Yeah,
this. And I don't always
change
follow the
it up.
directions, but mostly because I'm kind of lazy. And because it's like me cooking or baking, and I say things like, what if I just threw a teaspoon of cinnamon in just right now? Like
Or
what
curry
would happen?
powder.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
have some
yeah, I know.
cumin and pineapple. Let's have a cumin and pineapple IPA. Why not?
Shane, absolutely. Really, really. As long as you don't fuck it all
Well,
up. I
that's
mean,
the
just be
thing.
subtle. Be subtle with it. Subtle.
I am not quite comfortable enough with the chemistry yet to start
Yeah, nor me.
being
Yeah.
all that'll work because it probably won't. And so I think I'm many kits behind you for sure. So your confidence level is probably different from mine. But I would say I think we are, yeah, we will one day. It will happen. We will together we brew, we will put some stuff together and we'll be standing
Hmm.
around saying, should we
Let's
put more
throw something
asbestos in
out
this or less asbestos? Throw another pack of batteries in that one. It'll be good.
there. Don't try Donair. It's already been tried. It wasn't very good.
We're gonna do it better. We're gonna do a better Donair one. We're gonna get the Donair spices and we're gonna simulate the flavor of it and get a spicy Donair beer. I think we can do that
Okie
so much.
dokie.
I mean, how hard can it
Maybe we
be?
could.
Alexander Keith. They don't. I mean, they're not that big a company, right? Are we set for this one? It smells so
Yes.
good. It smells chocolatey. It smells sweet. This reminds
Yeah.
me of the Riz, the Russian Imperial from Bad Apple. The smell of it does.
It does.
We'll
And it's even
see.
stronger.
We'll
But
see.
there's, yeah, okay. Cheers. Oh, Lord.
Okay, that's really good. Not as good as the Bad Apple. I have to put that
What's
immediately.
the barrel? What's the barrel?
Oh, that's a good question.
Barrel aged, I'm still struggling. It's very, very good. It is like the very best Russian Imperial stouts. but I'm still searching for the liquor that they've aged this in, because it's coffee, yes, and it's still coffee. It's still coffee and it's still chocolate, but there is no. Where is the liquor? It's strong. It's 11%, but I can't nail down what they've aged this in. Whereas the Midnight Tide Scottish Reserve,
Oh, it's definitely rum.
100%. There was no doubt whatsoever that that was a rum. Help.
Well,
Where is it?
It's bourbon.
Is it?
It is aged in bourbon barrels, picking up rich notes of bourbon vanilla. That's the sweetness I'm gaining. Coffee. I'm definitely getting a coffee, but I'm not getting that burnt coffee.
I'm not getting bourbon.
I'm not getting bourbon specifically, but I'm getting the rest of it. The vanilla coffee
whiskey.
and dark fruit.
Yes.
So like a dark cherry kind of thing in there. Like this, but the sweetness and the coffeeness and the vanilla, it's all in there, and it's. I'd kind of
delicious, Ross.
I'd kind of like to try it alongside the non-barrel aged Clockwork, because that seems to be a thing.
And can you tell me the strength of the non-barrel aged Clockwork? Because that is telling. I'm guessing 8/9.
Clockwork Imperial Stout is a smooth, dark, blah 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 blah.
Probably still 9.
It says.
So this is, while you're saying that, then barrel aged. You're saying this is a bourbon. You finally found it is a bourbon. Well, I'm not getting a whiskyness from it necessarily. I'm getting all chocolate. I'm getting coffee, notes of vanilla. Yeah, okay, I'm getting all that. So it's like a very strong vanilla chocolate stout, coffee stout.
Yes.
But unfortunately, the booziness of it. I say unfortunately. Maybe it's not such a bad thing under the circumstance.
I find it a very understated booziness. Usually I'm the first one to call boozy flavor and say, oh, it's too boozy. Okay. You've just got some moonshine.
Okay. I was about to say it's ridiculously easy to drink.
It is.
Because if it's 11%, I ought to be going, whoa! I'm not. Therefore, I mean, it is absolutely divine.
Oh,
it is.
This is smooth and good.
It's so fantastic. But I'm searching for the liquor.
No, and you're right. So it's a very subtle barrel aging, and I'm kind of on board with that.
You're okay with that?
I'm fine with that.
You're okay with that? Yeah.
Because I want it to taste more like the beer than the booze that you've aged it in.
That's a good point.
I do.
You don't.
Me personally.
Yeah.
And so
that's a good point.
To that end, I do prefer the Boxing Rock over the Midnight Tide, because the Midnight Tide, it tastes like the barrel it came from. We kept it for a whole year, and all it could do was basically bounce off its own walls and say, well, I guess I've got nothing else to do but taste like a huge rum barrel at this point.
But I knew that anyway, because like I said, last year, I found the rum barrel-aged Midnight Tide. I was a little bit disappointed. That's not to say that it's not fabulous. It is.
Feel like if there was a mistake, it was not to pair with Barreling Tide. Barreling Tide is delicious. Everything I've tried there, it's wonderful. Get to Barreling Tide, specifically go there, have a designated driver. Because I don't know if I went over this. You guys came around. You met us at the pub at stop number 2 on my birthday pub crawl. Yeah. Stop number 1 was Barreling Tide, and we walked in because they do signature cocktail flights. And it's this bright,
Yeah.
vibrant neon array of this one it's a it's a pineapple fizz made with this apple whiskey, and on this other one with this other liqueur that we've made is bright blue, and it's just a pop of color. It's so fun to drink. So we had those, and they were all, none of them sort of made you think, whew, that's strong. And then eventually you go up and they've got their wall of bottles, and they've got
Yeah. I
so
remember
many
you
liquors
saying.
that they make. And,
Yeah.
and they said, "Oh, are you looking for a sample?" I said, "Yeah, I'd like to sample a couple." They said, "Well, okay, just let us know, and you can sample anything." And I said, "What's
Uh,
the cutoff?" And they went, "Huh?" And I said, "No, no, 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 no. You need to tell me. You need to tell me that I can only have 6. You need to do this. You have."
Sick.
Because I will try all 23 bottles that you have. Oh, you could do that if you wanted to. And I'm like, no, 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 no,
And
no,
just
no, 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 no,
sample.
no. Just, you're not hearing me. You're not hearing how dangerous this day can become.
No, this is great because you're telling me this now because there's only 3 months to my birthday, and
Oh
I
my
need to be
God.
doing exactly the same thing.
It's the best, honestly. And what I like about it, it's one of the closest we could probably still pub crawl Wolfville, even with the loss of like Saltbox losing their tap room. That would have made that fun. But Church is still there, Patty's is still there, Annapolis Cider Company's still there, and
Yeah.
is anyone? There's something else in Wolfville. What am I missing? No, Horton Ridge is way up the road.
Did you say Paddy's?
Yeah.
You did. Okay.
Church Patties
So
and Cider Company. So, but I feel like
okay.
they're slightly further apart than the Port Williams walk of Barreling Tide, Brigand Bark, and Bay of Fundy.
Oh, they totally are. They're like 80 yards further.
And
They're
can
both
I point out,
really
even in the
small.
winter months, Barreling Tide are still doing a monthly signature cocktail flight. Every month they come up with something new, and they're all there available for you. But here's the long ass story coming around to the actual point I am trying to make is that the 5 Fathom rum has too much personality to try to barrel age and have any of the, unless, I mean, this is the Wee Heavy. The Wee Heavy has got some good flavor to it, but the 5 Fathom rum, if you just have a quick little sip of Barreling Tide's 5 Fathom rum, it is this. It is, you are drinking rum. It's happening now. It's smoky. It's delicious. It's fully caramelly and molasses, and you are going to drink rum.
That's funny that you should say that because I bought, and I'm going to say, I am the cheapest man you know, Ross. You might think you know cheaper than me, but no, you don't. I am the cheapest man you know. Therefore, I wait till all the Christmas hubbub has died down, and then I go out and buy all the Christmas stuff afterwards at 40% off or setting up whatever. And that's what I do. And last year, I did exactly the same thing at the liquor stores when the Barreling Tide um, set where they have like 4 or 5 different Barreling Tides miniatures in a box.
Yeah.
Guess when I went and bought that? Well, I went and bought it when Christmas was finished. And I hear what you're saying. The Barreling Tide rum, and I am a fan of rum because I've been here in Nova Scotia now for 18 years, and rum is my liquor of choice. If I'm having a liquor, a hard liquor, a 40% thing, it is a rum.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. It used to be whiskey, but now I'm definitely more of a rum man now, which is why I told you I was a bit disappointed with the Midnight Tide. And I've got to tell you, are absolute. I agree with you. The the Barreling Tide, whatever it's called, smoky thing, should be drunk by itself, not mixing with anything else. It's almost like you shouldn't be throwing a wonderful single malt bourbon, mixing it with something else because it deserves its own. It needs to be drunk by itself rather than mixing with you throw a blended teacher's whiskey at a Coke and say, have a whiskey and Coke. You don't do that with the
Go
single
and
malt.
get the cheapest. So I think their
Absolutely.
mistake was, hey, we've got our wee heavy Scotch ale. Okay, what are we gonna do? Well, can we barrel age that in something? Sure. What should we barrel age it in? Let's find the crappiest, most vanilla, really basic, cheapest whiskey that was as long as even if it doesn't taste like anything. Can we have it not have any flavor or personality whatsoever? It's just this firewater whiskey. Age it in that, and that would have hopefully just embellished the personality of the wee heavy. Where I find what's happening in this Midnight Tide, it should like on paper it's genius. Take the best Scotch ale around and mix it with the best dark rum around, and you're going to get something great. Well, no, you're not, because you're going to get two very high personality flavors fighting with each other.
Each other.
One's going to win, and then at the end you're not really going to taste much of either.
Agreed.
And so
no, I do agree with. I normally agree with you, and I totally agree with that.
We've poured diamonds into molten gold, and it's come out just looking like crap, chitsy peanut brittle.
100%.
On the other hand, Boxing Rock couldn't even be bothered telling us what it aged in, because they obviously just found it out back in a skip and said,
"Did you look it? But you did look it up and said it was whiskey, and I'm still struggling to taste the whiskey."
And that's because it was just there was some bourbon. We found some cheap American bourbon that just unnamed, Steve's Bourbon Company out of St. Louis, Missouri.
And yet, it's so good. I've almost finished it. It's so good. It's 11%, Ross, and we just had a can of it, and I could drink it all night. And I know we can't because it's almost run out, but it's
11%.
So
and honestly, if someone says, "Do you want another one?" I think I'd tell the server, "Yeah."
I know. Yeah. I remember the first time. How many times have I said this? The first time I drank Bad Apple Brewery's Russian Imperial Stout was at it was 10%. So it was piss compared to this. It was piss water compared to the 11% Clockwork. Now I think I've said this a number of times. I'm going back almost 10 years, and I left work at 7:00 and I went to the Michelin Sports and Social Club. And of course, Bad Apple Brewery, Jeff's, he always had one of his brews in the Sports and Social Club. Usually it was the box cutter, which, who is it that makes now? Someone bought that IPA recipe.
Along Annapolis, yeah.
Okay. And I'm glad they did, because now that we're IPA fanatics, the box cutter is there, even though it's a bit westy for you. It's a bit westy. It might not be your favorite.
It is not my favorite. I have come.
It's not my favorite either.
Years later, I have come to appreciate
not my favorite
it.
Either. Yes, it's not my favorite either. However, it's still excellent for what it is. Anyway, this I remember the server saying, "Oh, because of course, at the time, like I said, 10 years ago, I didn't want IPAs. I wanted stouts. I wanted porters. I still do." But anyway, I asked what they had, and of course they had a stout on. So I had this stout, and I had a pint of it. I was like, "This is bloody lovely," and I was going to want another one, but she said, "No, it's 10% though." I was like, okay.
Yeah,
maybe no, I won't have another one of those, because I am driving home. So therefore, that's enough for me. This, dare I say it, is it as good as that? Is it as good as that? it's bloody great. It's really, really fabulous. Whatever.
I
If
still
someone
I don't
said
think
this
it's
is the Riz,
I don't think it's quite at the Russian Imperial by Bad Apple. I
oh,
don't think so.
really?
Because the
All right.
way I remember it, and I remember talking it up and saying it was the best thing ever, and I remember worrying. This was still
And it is.
4 years ago that we tried this, and I remember worrying that maybe it wasn't the best thing, and then I remember taking a sip of it, and it was as though you'd
It's great.
melted down a chocolate, like an Easter chocolate bunny. Just the
Yeah.
smoothness of a milk chocolate with no boozy taste. It didn't taste anywhere close to being boozy. This tastes barely like a 6 or 7%, but the Bad Apple Riz was just, here is just a smooth chocolate. You're just drinking a hot chocolate, my friend. It's just chocolate milk. It's a hot chocolate, and it goes down easy, and you're like, oh, and nothing was telling you that it was anything other than that.
But do you remember? Do you remember
The 21st night of
that
September.
at the? Do you remember also that you and I were drinking two different Russian Imperial Stouts that
and that's
evening?
the problem.
One of them was what you were drinking, a barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout by Bad Apple Brewery, and I wasn't. Therefore, yours was a slightly different brew than mine.
Yes, and which is why I
Yeah.
always try to explain fully what I was having.
But yours was a little stronger than mine as well. And so I didn't get that barrel age that you did. It was still just so good. And I'm not getting it off of this one either, even though it says it's barrel aged.
It
And
does.
by the way, I love it. I love it so much.
I am getting a little tiny bit of a bourbon. A little tiny bit.
Then it's really subtle.
But where it's telling me, or some sort of thing is telling me, that I'm mostly getting the features of the bourbon,
fruit,
which are the dark fruit,
vanilla,
the vanilla, the coffee.
Yeah.
Those parts are coming
all of
through.
that. All of that.
I'm saying, aha, yes. So they've somehow they've paired it. They've paired it. They've aged it in the right thing that's going to either just accentuate what the stout already is, that the Imperial Stout already is, or at least draw favor to or pair well with, because it's this stumbly trip over mixture of a great beer with a great rum that's pissing me off about this Millstone one. And I'm like, I love both of these things individually, but they don't work together.
But they don't quite work together in a...
You know, it's like cheesecake and white cheddar popcorn. I will eat so much of them alone, but if you ever tried to combine the two, nope, that is not going to be a good flavor. So I wonder if it was just a miscalculation of
and they can still try. They can still experiment, and that's the thing. So that's the beauty of this, that they can throw something at something, and they're both really local. The liquor is local. The beer is, I say liquor, the hard liquor is local, and the beer is local. So it's great that they can support one another and say, we will give you this and we will give you this. Let's do something and see how it works out.
Yeah.
This Midnight Tide, to me, didn't quite work out.
I wish it did. I love everything else.
Wonderful. Yeah, absolutely. I think it is fabulous. But
they tried to combine a really good sneaker with a really cool helicopter, and on their own, fantastic. But together, you're like, really?
But on the other hand, Boxing Rock, and was it 2 years ago, Ross, when Boxing Rock won brewery microbrewery? Was it 2 years ago?
Did they win 2023? I think you're right.
Whatever it was either 2 or 3 years ago, and clearly they know what they're doing. But this is no flash in the pan. This is such a beautiful Imperial Stout. Barrel aged or not, it's just fucking delicious. I don't want to finish the last two fingers of it and compare it. It doesn't seem fair because it's a bit of a walkover. But at the
2024.
same time,
They won
24
2024.
was it? They won.
Yeah, so just a year
So,
ago.
right, it is a bit of a walkover, but
Mm.
and
But
but at
we're
the same time,
we're trying
the
like
Midnight Tide,
hell to describe why. Trying like
it's difficult.
absolute
Yeah.
gangbusters to describe why uh, uh, the Midnight Tide didn't work because it was two greats that didn't mix. But I think Boxing Rock just went out and found the cheapest friggin' bourbon they could and aged it in
But
that.
they haven't told you what it is. Have they told you what it is?
Well, because it's it's ass crack bourbon from Duluth, Wisconsin, or wait, where the hell is Duluth? Yeah. Michigan?
Oh, by the way, look at this. Look at this, Ross. This is the rest of my barreling tide, Midnight Tide Scottish Reserve from Sea Level.
Oh, did you finish your?
There's half a point left. I'm still going to drink it.
Would you...
Why wouldn't you?
Do you want to throw your hat in the ring as to which state the city of Duluth is in? I was wrong twice.
Can you spell it for me?
Duluth. Duluth. It is the dullest name pot, but Duluth. And I thought.
Can I go for Nebraska?
Not quite. Close.
Iowa.
Northwesty. Well, North Central. Minnesota. Duluth, Minnesota.
Wow, I would not have known that.
Is the big one. Duluth Trading Company.
One. Duluth.
What is Duluth famous for? Life revolves around the awe-inspiring presence of Lake Superior. Oh.
Oh, no way. That's a big one.
Yeah, but you're one of the 6 cities on Lake Superior, and your personality is Lake Superior.
Oh, by the way, I've just remembered what the Scottish Reserve at Sea Level did to me. It did that thing with you.
It's too strong. It's too boozy. It's too boozy. It's the personality of the rum. The rum personality. This Clockwork is so smooth. So I'm sorry. The Midnight Tide isn't. Okay. In comparison, I think I have to score it lower. So I'm trying to objectively say to myself that I've never tasted anything good before. What is the Midnight Tide for a barrel aged Scotch ale? It's an 8.4.
I think you and I ought to also remember last week again. The Longest Night IPA. Maybe the Midnight Tide, even though it can get, like, what do they say? It can continue aging in the bottle. Maybe it didn't age particularly as it may be the aging process didn't aid its flavor as much as I thought it might. You know, you can make any argument for. You said it tastes like almost like a wine, like a cab sauv. It does. But there are some, but you can age a good wine for God knows how long. I don't know. I'm not a wine person. I'm not even a beer person. But I know nothing about either. But you can continue to age decent wine, can you not? And it gets better and better, supposedly. So the sommeliers would say. Yeah, you can't do the same with your homebrew. You can't age your homebrew for decades and say this is getting better and better.
Unless you've got some cool ass barrels, or some really crap barrels. Because I think the better the barrel, the more the clash. The beer will be.
Well, maybe.
So put crap beer in great barrels. Put great beer in crap barrels. But I think great beer in great barrels is not making the best beer. That's what's going on.
Maybe not. It's and it might not be a hard and fast rule either. It might just be the circumstances surrounding that. Some barrels might be different than others. Some beers might be different than others that age slightly differently or get better and some get worse. Who
Oh,
the
good.
fuck knows?
Oh, good. We've done this show for 4.5 years, and we finally managed to get to the point of some beers are not like others. We can retire. We can retire happy on that. And there, we. That is
That's
our
the science.
thesis. Our thesis conclusion is, you know what? I think some of these are a little different.
Okay, that's the beer talking. Definitely. I'm going to finish this. I'm going to finish it. The Midnight Tide. I'm going to give much as I would have done last year in comparison with the whiskey barrel age. About a 7.
That's fair.
About a 7.
I'm
because okay, because I'm okay with it. I really am.
Same.
And I like my rum. Yeah, but I do get what you're saying. It is a bit like a I don't know. I'll it's really fabulous, but it's not as fabulous as, as
This is so good.
which is amazing.
Yep. And I'm so glad that we gave that. Well, I personally gave the Russian Imperial Stout. I remember giving the Bad Apple Russian Imperial an 11 out of 10. So I know that nothing's ever going to touch it. And so I can happily give this Clockwork a 9.9 because I know it's still a good point away from the Russian Imperial from Bad Apple.
I think it nudges it. It absolutely nudges it.
Oh, it scratches. Yeah, it's clawing at the it's clawing at its heels, as it were, which is funny because the Russian Imperial hasn't ran anything in forever.
If this is still available, and bearing in mind the barrel aged Clockwork Imperial Stout is selling, or was selling, for $9.49, I think, for a can. That's going to put most people off. So I can imagine there's still quite a few hanging around. There's not many people that think, I'll happily pay $10 for a can of beer. There can't be that many people that will do that in the valley.
What was it? Is it in the LC?
That's where I bought it from, bud.
Yeah.
Where I bought it from.
So it. Yeah. Oh, so tell me I can find it. Yeah, Clockwork aged Imperial Stout. There it is. $9.49 for all 473 milliliters that we got.
It's a lot of cash. That's a lot of cash.
Luxury.
Yeah, it is absolutely luxury. Can you see if there's any available in I'm not expecting
yes,
you
I can.
to go through the. You're going through the NSLC now.
Yep, I'm there.
Good on you. Good on you, Ross. You're a good friend.
Okay, so this tells you that there are 2 available in New Minas, which means there are none. There are 4.
Absolutely.
4 available in Berwick, which means there are none.
So you might have 1.
Yep. There are 5 in Bridgetown, which probably means they're sold out.
I'm not going that far.
There's freaking 29 available at the Downsview Plaza in Lower Sackville. So the next time you're going through town, you get them at Lower Sackville.
So what you're saying is there's
just
none
a
available in the
stone's
valley.
throw from Tapestry Beer Bar at
Ian Smith's place.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's none in the valley. That's what you're saying.
Well, it's telling you that there's a low number. There's 2, there's 4, there's a couple.
No, I hear what you're saying. The inventory is never correct.
If it's lower than 10, I have learned to not gamble.
Yeah.
On the inventoire.
If I found 1 or 2 more, do you know what? This guy would probably buy them.
Yeah.
would probably buy them even at $9.49.
I would be curious if because if you get in there and they have the one that's the non-barrel aged, but as we're learning, there's Clockwork Imperial. I can't type right now, but that's fine.
Would
Going
it? Wouldn't it be great, Ross? Wouldn't it be great if you know my love for the Nanaimo, the 10% Nanaimo from last year or year before, whatever.
Yes.
I can't remember. Right. Now there was a ton of those left over after Christmas, and I bought them all up because, as you do.
Oh,
Wouldn't it? And they were on, a couple of dollars cheaper. Wouldn't it be great if all those 3 or 4s left in the Valley ones were all being sold at $7 or $8?
if they found their way into the clearance section,
I
would pick them up in a hurry because that is some tasty business.
Absolutely.
Fully agree.
That's the business.
I'm going to take another glass of this bold red wine. And it's funny that you mentioned that it's the kind of red wine, the really thick Cab Sauv, the really bold, the oaky. This is the one that puts hair on your chest. Yeah. And I say, my thing when people ask me what kind of, I said I'm not really a wine drinker. I like a really really bold and strong red. And they say, what do you mean? I said, the kind of red wine that when you drink it, you have your first sip and you have to cough afterwards. And I'm reminded of when we cracked open this bottle. When we Homer Simpsoned off the cap of this bottle, and I took a sniff, and the first thing I did was, whoo! So.
It's like that first hit on a really good Cuban cigar. And you're under a really good.
It is if we were judging red wines tonight, this is 10 out of 10 red wine. Like 100%. So good. It reminds me of, they had an what do they call it? Some sort of infused thing. What's the thing where you like booze up a red wine? It's not Imperial, because that's where you get the Imperial whatnots in beer. But in red wine, it's a
fortified.
Thank you. A fortified Castel wine, red wine, was available at Mercator several years ago. They sold it as a dessert wine. It came in a bottle smaller than this and cost something like $40.
Yeah.
And they gave me a sip one time, and I just went, at it. It was just nectar. It was just fruit juices. But that's what this reminds me of. A really, really good, fortified, deliciously bold red wine.
I love it.
Not exactly what I'm looking for, but still.
That's also Christmassy and seasonal, fortified. Is it not? Anyway, good night. I'm out of here.
Righty on. I would like to thank Sea Level, Barreling Tide, for making this delicious wine that we mostly liked, but just I don't know. Are we disagreeing with chemistry, or are we disagreeing with the mix? I can't tell. Boxing Rock for making the Clockwork Imperial Stout. Ian for joining me tonight. And anyone for joining us in ye old chat there for the conversation. We're back here normally on Wednesdays. We're here on Tuesdays throughout the holidays, but we're back to Wednesdays, regular Wednesdays, 8 to 9 p.m. over at the YouTube page, youtube.com/@drinknsdry. You can find most of our excerpts and whatnot over there. We're also on the TikToks and the Instagrams, and I try to get things uploaded. You can find our podcast in all the podcasty places, or you can go straight to the source at drinkns.unsupervised.beer. But again, we'll catch you Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Right over here. And thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again. We'll talk to you again next week.